breaking news today.
Please subscribe and then check notification box to get all breaking news alerts.
Trump's decision to move the U.S. Embassy to Jerusalem up for a vote. In all, 128 countries voted against it, calling the decree null and void, but nothing would prepare them for when Nikki Haley put them in their place with just one brutal statement. Despite repeated campaign promises from previous presidents to move the U.S. Embassy, none of them made good on their word. Even though both Democrat and Republican leaders over the past several decades have all said that Jerusalem is the capital of Israel, and the fact that the 1995 Jerusalem Embassy Act passed with Democrat support, sadly, it just never came to be, that is, until Trump.President Donald Trump, on the other hand, announced that not only would the U.S. Embassy be moving to Jerusalem, the move would be taking place within the next 5 years, and the only reason for the delay is because the facility has yet to be built. On December 6, President Trump issued a decree, which he called long overdue, according to BizPac Review. "I have determined that it is time to officially recognize Jerusalem as the capital of Israel," Trump said. While previous presidents have made this a major campaign promise, they failed to deliver. Today, I am delivering. Of course, because Trump was the one to actually do it, those same people who once expressed support for the move, are now criticizing it. As one would imagine, other countries have joined in on the attack, despite it having absolutely nothing to do with them. Making matters worse, the rest of the world has most recently sought to try to embarrass America by putting the resolution to vote. In the end, the Gateway Pundit reports that 128 countries voted in hopes that the U.S. would strongly reconsider its move and eventually declared that Trump's decree was rendered null and void. Despite the fact that the U.S. ambassador to the UN said that America would be taking names, the heavy majority voted against the move. In all, only 9 countries backed Trump, and they included Guatemala, Honduras, Israel, the Marshall Islands, Micronesia, Nauru, Palau, Togo, the United States. It seems that not even threats of cutting off funding to the UN and foreign aid to countries that voted against the resolution proved enough to sway the votes. Too bad for them. Haley just put each and every one of them in their place, and it took her just one sentence to do it. "America will put our embassy in Jerusalem," she said. "No vote in the United Nations will make any difference on that. But this vote will make a difference on how Americans look at the UN, and on how we look at countries who disrespect us in the UN." In a day and age where threats to the free world continue to pose a serious risk, America is being forced to waste its time lecturing the world about arrogance and hypocrisy. When it comes down to it, where we place our embassies is no one else's business except that of the country we place them in. Seeing how Israel is in favor of the new locations, well, nothing anyone else has to say is really relevant whatsoever. Maybe if these other countries focused on more important things, like radical Islamic terror flowing out of the Middle East and the obnoxious dictator of North Korea, we could move on to better things. Instead, the 128 countries that wanted to make a statement in the UN are doing more harm than good over matters that don't concern them. Even worse yet, they may have just made things exponentially worse for themselves, and I have a feeling they'll understand.